Welcome, gingerbread engineers, to the Muscatine Arts Center's gingerbread workshop. I'm sorry you're not here in person. I really would love to have you here. It's not as much fun when it's just by myself. I know that you all have your gingerbread house kits, and in your kit you should have 6 pieces of gingerbread and a little bag of toothpicks. So let's get everything out and we'll get started. Ooh, before I say anything more, I already did sanitize my hands, but make sure that you wash your hands before you get started too. All right, so we have 6 pieces. You have rectangles, you have sort of a square, and then a house shape. We're gonna deal with the square and the house shape and not the rectangle. That is our roof. So we'll wait for that one. So now you need to decide on your board, which is just a piece of styrofoam covered in tissue, where you're going to have your house. Do you want to build your house towards the back of your board so that you can have a front yard? Maybe right in the middle of your board so you have a little bit of yard all the way around, or however you want to do it. I think I'm going to build mine towards the back so I can have somewhat of a front yard. Maybe I can have a sidewalk or something like that. Everybody should have 16 toothpicks. These are our insurance. And I do want to tell you too, I want to give credit and thanks to June Priest, who taught me how to do this. She was the gingerbread lady in Muscatine for so many years. She made gingerbread for many, many people, the art center, her church, lots of ladies groups and so on. So June, we miss you and thank you so much for helping us to know how to do this and pass it on to the next generations. All right, so pick up one of your house pieces and a couple toothpicks, and we are going to, let's see, I think I might do it like this. We're going to put the toothpicks, these are our insurance. This is what's going to keep our house standing while we put the frosting on and glue it together with the frosting. So you're going to put 2 toothpicks on the inside and 2 toothpicks on the outside, and that will show you that that piece stands up really nicely. All right, now we're going to take one of the squares, we're going to put it on the edge of our house, and we're going to do the same thing. Put our toothpicks insurance here in the inside, and then on the outside. Whoops. Eventually we're going to take the toothpicks out on the outside, but we're going to leave the ones on the inside since nobody's going to see them anyway. All right, so now we have 2 pieces of our house together, pretty much. Let's grab the other piece, the square, and we're going to put it on the other side. 2 toothpicks on the inside and 2 toothpicks on the outside. Like so. How about that? For those of you who have made gingerbread houses before and couldn't make them stand up, I was so surprised when I found this out. It's a miracle, really, that everything will stand up. All right, so now we're going to open our frosting. Everybody has a frosting bag. Some of you have a star tip, which is kind of a jagged edged tip. That's this one here. And some of you might have just a regular round tip. Doesn't matter. They all work the same. Do take the tops off though, because there's a little shield on it so that the frosting stays good. All right, here's the round tip. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to frost on the inside of our house, on the corners. So let's put some frosting in on the corners. It doesn't have to be pretty, but don't worry about using too much, don't worry about using too much frosting either. We think that a little bit of frosting is good, but a lot of frosting is better when you're doing gingerbread. All right, and make sure your house is kind of square too. If it's a little wonky when you put it together, straighten it out a bit so that the roof will stay on nicely. All right. Okay. Now we're going to put some frosting on the outside of our house. Make sure that you fill up the seams on those corners really, really well. That's what's going to hold your house up. This is called royal frosting, and it is powdered sugar, water, and meringue powder, which is egg whites, powdered egg whites. So that is our frosting, and that is our cement too, to put our house together. I'm going to put a little more frosting on the inside. We also want to go all the way around the inside of our house on the bottom with frosting. That'll help keep it to our base, to our styrofoam base. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. And like I said, nobody's going to see the inside, so don't worry about it. Here's the inside. We can still move it a little bit. All right, so we've got the inside done, and we've got the corners on the outside done. Now we need to put in the last piece of the house. Let's put that together. 2 on the outside and 2 toothpicks on the inside. And you'll see that house coming together so nicely. All right. I'm ready, I think. Put the rest of the frosting on. All right, we're going to go right up the corners of our house again. Make sure that frosting goes in between so it gets nice and strong. Then we're going to put frosting on the inside. This is a little harder. You got to go kind of carefully. My hands are shaking today. Kind of carefully on the inside. And up both corners again. All right, oops, I just knocked my house. All right, so there you go. You can kind of see what it looks like. Now, believe it or not, it's time to decorate. So once you get all of your sides put together, it's time to put all your goodies on. The house roof is the very last thing you do. But I also want to show you too, when you put the roof on at the end, you want to make sure you don't decorate too far up so that the roof knocks it off. So keep your decorations maybe about a 1/2 inch down on your house. All right, now Katie's got a whole bunch of great stuff in here for you guys to decorate. I see some great Christmas trees and some little candy canes and a bunch of jelly things and M&Ms. Look at all these goodies. Fantastic. Starlight mints. We'll get it all out so everybody can see. All right. So now comes the creative part. Now you got to figure out how this house is going to look. Are you going to put a door on? Windows? Maybe a Christmas wreath? We have orange or red ones too, so you could use these for windows. I see some little trees or bushes. Here's some jujus. These are great. Look at these little candy corns for Christmas. And then also these great Starlight mints. So make sure you take them out of the package though. You don't want those Starlight mints to have their papers on them. All right. So we'll peel those first and then we'll get started decorating. I think I might use these for a chimney. So I'll save a couple of those back and use those for a chimney on the top. All right. We also have licorice. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one yet. All right, we are ready to go here. All right, take a look at your tip again. And I like to keep my tips in a baggie because otherwise the tips dry out. So if you keep them in a baggie or keep a little wet paper towel on the end of them, they won't dry out. All right? Okay, so I think I'm going to start with the front of my house. And I'll show you when I get that part on there. I'm going to put a couple of these little trees out front. They look pretty great on either side of my door. So we're going to squirt some frosting on this, and it doesn't have to be fancy. And we'll put those at the front door. All right, not too bad. There we go. We also need to take our frosting and go around the base, the outside base of our house. So let's do that before we get any farther with our decorating. You can do it with stars. You can do it just or by making stars, or you can just run your frosting right around the bottom like so. And we're going to go all the way around our house. And that also will help our house stand up. Go ahead and do the front and the back as well. Right around the bottom. Go right over the toothpicks. It won't matter because we'll be taking those out eventually anyway. So go right ahead and go around your toothpicks. All right. Everybody see how that looks? Oops, I forgot my door here. All right, so this is what we're looking at right now. Lots of frosting all around our house. Could be snow, right? I'm glad we don't have snow right now outside though. All right, so let's make our door. I don't know what I'm gonna make for a door. I see Santa Claus is here too today. I think I'm gonna use M&Ms and go right around my door. Or maybe some I think I'm going to use one of these. All right, so how about that? That looks like a great door. One of our candy canes. Perfect door, right? Go ahead and put your frosting on that. Put that right up there on your house. That worked out nicely. Show you that too. There's our door. I'm just making sure everything's solid here. We don't want anything to fall apart when we're all done with this great house. All right. Okay. So let's see what else we're going to do here. You can decorate it however you want. I guess I'm going to use these little deals for windows. Maybe some of you have things at home that you want to use. I know I've used marshmallows before and Red Hots. You can use cookies, different kinds of cookies. Just about anything. Cereal, if you like Chex Mix or Chex cereal, that works really great for a thatched roof. All right, there's my windows. Put a couple on this side now. And I did take my toothpicks out. If you do it, make sure you're real careful so it doesn't fall down. Be real careful when you're pressing things on right now. All right. All right, windows are on. Looks like the sunshine is making them fall a little bit. There we go. All right, what else are we gonna do here? How about, let's figure out something to do with this licorice. If we can get it apart. This might make really great shutters. I think I'm going to get a scissors. I'll be right back with you. And we'll cut those in small pieces to make a shutter on either side of our window. All right, so let's see here. We can cut these. There's a shutter. Let's put a shutter on each side of those windows. And remember, you don't have to do what I'm doing either. This whole plate full of stuff is for you to be creative and inventive and do whatever you want with it. So make that house your own and do whatever you want to with the candy on that plate. All right, so here's my shutters. Oops, I need one more here. And I think it's easiest if you use the frosting on the candy pieces themselves. So instead of gluing the house, just glue the candy pieces like so, okay? And put those on. But it does make a difference when you're looking at it too. Okay, hang tight and I'll show you what it looks like. Almost done. The shutters are almost too big for the house. Oh well. And that is not working. Put another one on there. All right, so there's my windows and there's my shutters. All right, so I'm gonna cut a couple more. I'll do those in a minute. I think I might have a light pole out front. So I'm going to use another one of these big candy canes, and I'm going to frosting maybe a green light on the end of this. You might want to poke a hole in it so you can get your candy cane inside like so. Makes a pretty good light out front. In order to get this in, you're going to have to use a scissors to poke a hole in this. And then I suggest you put some frosting in there too, and then put your candy cane in there. Ta-da! All right, so there's our light. I think we need some kind of sidewalk though. So let's figure out what we're going to do for that. Let's do some M&Ms. And we'll see. I think I'm going to put a little post outside my front door as well. All right. And I'm just putting frosting right on the tissue paper on the base. Like so, and then you can start putting the M&Ms on. So now we'll start putting the M&Ms on for the sidewalk. Pretty easy. Turns out pretty delicious looking. And I guess I could tell you too, you can eat this. When you're all done, everything on it is edible. The frosting gets really hard though. The frosting is much like cement. You can eat it, but I'm not sure it tastes as good as you think it does. So don't hesitate to take a taste of your gingerbread house when you're done. there's my sidewalk. I might need some more, but that gives you the idea. All right. What else do we have here? We probably need a wreath above our door. So everybody has these. I think I'm going to put a wreath above my door. Put some more frosting on, like so. Okay. And I don't know. I want to use these, but I'm not sure what I'm going to use them for yet. Maybe we need another bush out front. We've got a couple of these little gummy bushes. We'll put some of those maybe on the side of. We're going to put some more frosting. And put those on. I'd put some frosting on the base too, just so they stay pretty tight. Alright, so the front of the house looks pretty great. Now we got to worry about the back of the house. Let's see. I changed my mind and I'm going to use these for my chimney. So we have a couple more or a few more of these. I think I'll put some of these trees on the back of my house as well. One thing we do use if we make a yard, if you've got pretzels at home, pretzels make a good fence. So you can use pretzels all the way around the outside of your house if you want to. You can use stick pretzels, but you'll have to poke holes with toothpicks. You can use the little twisty pretzels. Those also look like a fence. You could use them for a gate. All right. Let's work on our roof. All right, here's what it looks like so far. I need a couple more window shutters on the other side, but it's looking pretty good so far. All right, let's work on our roof. So go ahead and take out your rectangles. And we're going to do one piece at a time. So we're going to take our frosting and we're going to go all the way around one side of the house. And don't feel bad about using too much frosting because we really need a lot of frosting to cement that roof on so it doesn't cave in. So you can see I'm kind of layering it up pretty heavy, right? Just like that. All right, we're going to set our roof on there. This edge is right at the point of the roof, just like so. Okay? Because the other piece has to fit right up next to it, so. And then we're going to put more cement down the middle. So let's go ahead and put the other piece on too, and then we'll decorate the roof. Lots of frosting on the sides. Okay. And we'll put our other roof piece on. Okay, we're going to look at it, make sure that it's on there pretty snug. I think it looks pretty good. Not too bad. All right, let's put the frosting down the middle as well. So go ahead and squirt that frosting right down the center. All right. Now, if you want to, you can use, ooh, these might be great lights. I think I'll use those for lights. You can use M&Ms across the top as well, just for decoration. Oops, we'll go every other. Boy, I'm having trouble holding on to these things. Don't push too hard, they'll stick. Just lightly in that frosting. And once that frosting is dry, it'll be like cement. You'll be able to move it around. It won't fall apart at all. All right. There we go. So let's do something with this roof. what should we do? I wonder. Maybe we should use these. I think I'm going to use these little candy corns. Count how many we have here. I don't know if we had these last year. They're pretty cute. We should be able to do something with them. All right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, let's see what we can do. Maybe we could put 5 candy cans on each side. We'll make those like little lights or something coming off the roof. So we can do 5 on each side. We're going to put the frosting on there. And if you have an odd number and you want to make sure that they're spaced nicely, do both ends first and then the middle, and then you'll have it spaced nicely. See how we have that? Both ends in the middle. Now we're going to put the 2 in between. And it should be just right. Pretty darn good. All right, so there's one side. Let's get the other side done. I don't know what these are. They could be lights or they could be something else. Doesn't really matter, I guess. I like my house the same on both sides. Some people like to do something different on both sides, and that's okay too. I like symmetry. I like the same on both sides. So there we go. So I have something the same on both sides. I better put my chimney on there. I don't know if I'm going to put it up there or put it sideways. I think I'm going to smash it down a little bit so that it fits better. I kind of smashed it down on one end, and we'll put a lot of frosting in there. You should have enough frosting if you don't use the frosting for snow. Now, if you use your frosting for snow, you may not have enough frosting, but you should have enough to finish your house otherwise. And I think I'll put this on the top. There we go. There's my chimney. I have some of these. I don't know what I'll do with those. And you don't have to use everything on your plate. Maybe you can eat a little bit of it. I need to decorate my roof a little bit more though. So let's see. Maybe we'll use some of this again and we'll glue it on flat. The licorice is pretty great and it does flatten out, so maybe we could do lines of licorice. That might work. Let's see what that looks like. We'll measure it out, see if we can. Might work. I don't know. All right. I think I'm going to put some M&Ms around the bottom of my house as well. So I'm going to squirt some frosting also back across the bottom, right over the frosting that you put on first to make it solid. And this is what it looks like right here. Then you can start building again with your M&Ms, or maybe you want to use something else. Maybe I'll use some of these for the corners of my house, and I'll put M&Ms in the middle. It really does look better if you can use a lot of candy on it, so don't hesitate. Go ahead and fill it up. Okay, that looks pretty good. What do you think? Guess I'll do the other side. Just squirt some dots on there. And this is good too because this will help make that house nice and solid. And some more M&Ms. We're almost done, believe it or not. This has gone pretty fast. I love the gingerbread too because Mom's going to know that it's going to smell up your house so nicely. It's going to smell like Christmas. That's one of my favorite things about baking gingerbread is it smells so wonderful when you're baking it. All right, I may do a little bit more on the front too. I don't know. I think we have one little Santa here if you want to put Santa on the roof or maybe by the front door. I'm going to put a few more M&Ms in the back. And then I think we're going to say it's good for right now. And like I said, if you have things at home that you want to use, by all means, go ahead and use those. All right, almost done. All right, I think I'm going to do one more thing and put a back door in here too, since I have the candy canes and we have the back side of the house. We'll decorate both sides. Once your frosting starts to go down, I mean you've used a bunch of it, go ahead and push the frosting down and then just give it a twist again. You're going to hold the frosting bag with one hand and you're going to draw with the other hand. So this is your squeezing hand if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, you'll hold it in your left hand then. Oops. All right. One more wreath and I think we are done. We'll put a green wreath on the back of the house too, right above the door. And a couple more trees. And then I think we're done. Now I have a lot of things left on my plate. As you can see, I may add those later, but I think for now, I'm going to say this is done. And there's our gingerbread house. I am going to finish the roof. All right, thanks so much for coming. I hope you had fun doing gingerbread. This is one of my favorite things to do at Christmas time. Hopefully next year we'll be able to get together and do it at the Art Center in person and not on Zoom, but this is as close as we can get this year. So Merry Christmas.